Hi, coconuts. So today's episode of the Middle Row with Coco Mocoe podcast, filmed in the Spotify theater, is one that is so exciting to me because it's so full circle. We are having on Chase Hudson, also known as Huddy, the interesting lore with him that he doesn't even know. But as you guys know, I used to work at Famous Birthdays. That was like my start. I found the job on Craigslist like pre-COVID before Indeed was even a thing. And I was running their Musically, which then became TikTok. They changed the name while I was working there. And videos went from being 15 seconds to like, I think a minute and then 3 minutes. So I really saw the app evolve. But the coolest thing about working there is the people that I worked with were so brilliant at the internet. And they told me, if you ever think that someone's going to be famous, invite them in and we'll get an interview with them. So because I was working on TikTok, I was seeing this new generation of kids coming up on this platform that we never seen before. And they were doing dances and they had interesting style. And one of the kids that I had in and produced an episode with was Chase Hudson. And he was like 17 at the time, maybe even 16, I think maybe 17. And he comes in and we produced a couple different episodes with him. I think he came in a couple times. And one of the videos that I produced with him got like 44 million views on YouTube. And those videos that I made specifically with him was the reason that I got my job at BuzzFeed, where I ended up working for a long time. But I always credit like Chase Hudson's just part of that generation that really gave me my career, because at the time no one was reporting on these kids. And so it's such a sign to, if you work in marketing, if you work in media, if you're an artist, whatever it might be, always be willing to try the new thing, always be willing to learn the new platform that everyone's terrified of. When I started at Famous Birthdays and was running the Musically / TikTok, I remember someone from my college being like, no one will take you seriously if you have TikTok on your resume. Like, you need to work on Instagram, you need to work on YouTube and Twitter. And I did take that to heart, but I'm so glad I stuck it out at this job. And it's the reason that I got a great job at BuzzFeed. And now I have this job that I do, that I profile your next favorite celebrity on this podcast, Middle Row, in the Spotify theater. And so he's one of those moments where I felt like my instincts in knowing who was going to get popular and where the internet was headed. He's one of those kids that I look at as being proof in the pudding, having produced videos with him. And now, these years later, he is putting out his next album, Somebody to Hate. And he's just someone that I think, we talk about it in the interview, but he's someone who has never compromised himself. I feel this like older sister maternal protection towards that generation, but him specifically has never been one to chase trends. He's such a trend setter. Like, for example, when he was doing TikTok back then, he was the one that really popularized e-boys. And now he's doing rock music and staying true to that. His song and music video that we break down, Cheap, is like about a bad experience he had with a record label. And he really kind of opens up about that in the interview, which is really interesting to just see that side. It felt really similar to my interview at Slater and how she created an album and went independent and then was like, I'm not going to sign to a label unless they're willing to take this album as is. And then she blew up as a result. So I think what you're going to take away from this episode is knowing not to compromise, being willing to do the thing that no one else is doing and do it well. Like, he talks about working in high fashion, which is something that was really unique to kind of his generation. He's one of the few that was really accepted by the fashion houses, and he really appreciates the fashion houses and what they do as well. It's a two-way road. So I'm really interested to see what you guys take from this interview. It was a really cool conversation. Let me know in the comments what you think of his album, and let me know in the comments on YouTube what other artists or celebrities I should have on before they get famous. And thank you guys so much for all of the reviews on Spotify, Apple, the YouTube as well. So I really appreciate you guys so much. And let's get into this video, coconuts.
So all of my music videos for this album start in the same way that the last one finishes. So at the end of my last music video, I sat on this throne.
Wow.
Same outfit. Now they're watching me through the TV.
Wow. All the cameras and mics, are they like symbolizing like so many people are watching?
Yeah, everyone's watching, everyone's listening, watching close. So this is me making like a proclamation.
And it's like claustrophobic the way they're so close.
Yeah, I didn't know which one to speak to. So I just spoke to all of them.
Were they all recording?
All of them. See, look at this. So this is all cool. 27 cameras were recording.
Wow.
Blah, 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 blah. This light, by the way, was blinding. And they were like, just wait, show us your eye. And I'm like, ow. It's blinding me.
Is there a reason you're on like plastic wrap on a chair?
No, but it looked really cool with the op flight. And then there's this box that this artist named Gregory Stiff made.
Wow.
It took him 12 hours and he's listened to this song on loop.
Wow. And 12 hours is actually pretty quick for how detailed.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
He went in.
And then your next one will start with like that hole.
The next one will start with the hole.
Okay, exciting.
Yeah. The light, it's sort of like creating this idea that we're escaping from the box that was like, all of these things in the box were meant to describe like who I am as a person. And there's just like, if I'm stuck in this box, I might as well create my world around it and try to break out from it. So this is me seeing that first glimpse of light where it's like I could escape this.
And did you feel like you felt boxed in from when you had first become famous?
I felt boxed in from when I first started out, yeah. When you're trying new things and showing people different sides of yourself. Not everyone's quick to get it, so you have to just keep trying to kick those doors down to open new ones for yourself.
Yeah, and you were explaining when we were watching it, like, but you had all of these cameras. It felt kind of like claustrophobic in all the microphones. Can you explain like what that was symbolizing?
I mean, that kind of symbolizes, I mean, both like interviewers and people watching you online, things like that. I look back on like movies like Bohemian Rhapsody where he's going through a really tough time and then you're getting hit with the most jarring questions in interviews. And so I think even at those worst moments, people are still looking at you to say something and you're like, I don't know what to say. And so this is my way of being like, these words that people have like said about me aren't going to affect me, that I'm going to keep going around these roadblocks and finding new ways to talk about them in ways that aren't really addressing anything other than that the words that people have like skewed against me haven't slowed me down or stopped me from becoming who I am as a person. I'm always growing and evolving.
Have you ever felt in the last like years that was there ever a format or an example where you actually felt seen and heard? Either it was like an interview or a moment you did artistically. Was there ever a moment where you were like, that felt like genuinely perceived the way I meant it to be, or like I felt comfortable in that setting? Have you ever felt that?
Yeah, I think I felt that when I was able to write some of my bigger songs. Like there was, like with All the Things I Hate About You, I think that I was able to capture the idea of what I wanted to say really well and fit it all into a song. And it felt like it was very well heard and understood. There was a lot kind of thrown into that. I think that like, oh my gosh, Alison Hagedorf, I think that she really sees me.
She was in an interview you did, right?
Yeah.
Where you were like at the home. Yes. Okay. I saw that one.
And one of the things that she did was she was like, what's your favorite drink and your favorite like baked something? And so I was like, wow, like this is like taking me back because it makes you feel seen and heard because they're like, oh, like immediately I want you to be surrounded by your favorite things so you're comfortable to talk about these things so we can like hear each other
Yeah.
and have like a very honest, open conversation. And
Wow.
like it's like a nice icebreaker.
hmm That was a great interview too. So it's nice to know that there was that like comforting energy. Cause I do feel like too, me being on the other side of it, sometimes I feel like questioning is like, how can I get a gotcha moment? Or like, how
Hmm.
can I almost do it at the expense of the person you're interviewing?
Yeah.
And I despise that. So it's nice to know there's people that are really so genuine. With your album coming out, Somebody to Hate, why did you name it that?
I named it Somebody to Hate because it felt like people were always trying to find a reason to hate me. And so I wanted to take it and sort of spin it into a way where it's like if you want to hate me, I'm going to, wear it like a badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way to let people in on the person that they've tried to hate. I think that this album does a great job at describing who I am as a person and like the sort of things
Mm-hmm.
that I've been through. Um, and so it's a way to get your attention, but then to see the whole story and to actually
Mm-hmm.
get to know me through my music and to know that as much as it doesn't affect me, it's like a duality of my last single, Fragile, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, but it does affect me. I am a human and like I feel things and I hurt, but I'm doing my best now to not let these things affect me and to grow as a person and learn.
Yeah.
And as I get older, figure out who I am along the way.
Mm-hmm. It's so like I am just want to give you perspective from my side too. I I feel like people love you. Like it's so interesting that you feel this way because it might be even hard to hear, but like I'm someone who studies the internet, studies trends,
Hmm.
and you're someone who has been on my radar forever because we were talking off camera, but you would come into famous birthdays and like so I saw you even as a kid
Yeah.
and I really feel like you've maintained this like cool edge. You've been true to
Thank you.
yourself. And I don't think you're not someone who I feel has ever compromised to follow trends or like you've really stayed true to you. Your
Yeah.
trajectory makes sense. And I can tell someone's veering from that when their trajectory doesn't make sense anymore. I'm like, huh, that's kind
Hmm.
of feels off for them. But you've always really been true.
Yeah. When people go left, I go right. And
Mm-hmm.
I try not to look at what music is doing
Yeah.
currently as like a reference for what I want to do or make.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to go and look for things that are very old. I love classic alternative music,
Mm-hmm.
older stuff. I think that um, you just have to look in the places that people are afraid to look in.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to set a trend, you have to try something new. So what I'm like blending things that are old and trying to make them new
Yeah.
and put my own spin on things. I think it took me a lot of time to figure out how I wanted to sound like myself. I feel like I needed a signature Huddy sound if I was going to um, lay it all out on the table for everyone. And
Mm-hmm.
I tried to really, stay away from the trends and
Mm-hmm.
just be me and be authentic at whatever expense. And I think the same thing goes with fashion. Like you shouldn't really be looking at what the trends are that people are wearing. You should just try to, find what works for you and be
Yeah.
comfortable. And yeah, so I think that goes with like all aspects of life, take inspiration from other things, other people around
Mm.
you, um, and learn how to just like grow into yourself and love yourself.
Yeah. Is there someone or like an artist or even a movie that you've taken inspiration from that your audience might be shocked by?
I'd be shocked by. Well, everyone knows my favorite artist, my biggest inspiration is Lenny Kravitz.
Mm.
Huge style inspiration of mine is Alton
Wow.
Mason. I don't know if you know Alton
Alton.
Mason.
Wait, yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a really sick model, but he's
Yes.
just got like such an effortless swag, and I think
Mhm.
that that's like something that you should look for in your outfits and in your day to day life.
That is like a niche pull. Like I know he's been at the Met Gala and stuff, but that's pretty niche.
Yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
unless you're like deep in the modeling world, that
Hmm.
like you would never like look to think of
Yeah.
him. But I think he's the coolest dude ever. And like movies, like I don't know.
You mentioned like Bohemian
Oh yeah, like
Rhapsody.
Bohemian
That's
Rhapsody
cool.
was a really great was a really great film. I don't know if I take too much styling reference
Mm-hmm.
um from him or inspiration from him, but I think Queen's like one of my favorite bands of all time for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And you mentioned fashion, which I wanted to ask you about. Like, I think you're someone who I think of you as, at least your start, you're very like new media, obviously like TikTok. And I actually think that traditional media and high fashion, they're usually a little bit adverse to like accepting that new media at first. But you're one of, I think, the few that has really like, you've been like an ambassador for Dior, you've been to fashion shows, fashion weeks. And I feel like you've been really like kind of embraced in a way that I haven't seen maybe others. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think fashion, you've really like, you've kind of clicked in this world that I think doesn't come as easy to others?
Um, I just made that a huge point from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
When I was first going up on social media, it was because I painted my nails and wore 10 chains and had weird hair
Yeah.
and wore band tees and tried to just like do something a little bit different at the time. And
Yeah.
obviously that's not the most different thing in the world, but I was always experimental with my
Yeah.
fashion until it made a difference. But I would make it my point of conversation. That I do want to be a part of the fashion community, that I always looked up to it. And so when I started attending fashion weeks, I was very nervous at first and was really trying to make friends there. And yeah, I can not be like the most accepting community. And I think that that's something that they're actually working towards, like opening up to a lot more people, which is really cool. But you have to show interest in fashion. And you have to really show love to these designers and wear their clothes that they gift you, and try to create cool moments with everything. And I think that every day you have to think about your outfit when you wake up and make it a point to try something new and challenge yourself. I mean, this isn't my most challenging outfit. I put it together in 5 minutes, but I think the fashion community is really cool, and I think every one of these artists should really try to lean into it. And I know everything's very strategic and all that stuff, but I mean, there's a brand for everybody.
Yeah. Is there any like advice anyone's ever given you when it comes to styling that you hold on to?
Yes, Luca Bassett said, find 3 pairs of jeans that fit you incredibly well, and then get some nice leather jackets and some old t-shirts from the 80s, and you have a wardrobe.
Okay. That's
I'm
actually
like,
cool.
that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, you know, you don't need all these different pants that kind of fit you, don't fit, whatever, like that are just super out there. You have a couple pairs of like cool blue jeans and then a pair of boots that you beat to shit, and you're good.
Yeah. And who's Luca Bassett? Is he?
He's a
in fashion?
huge model.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I
like
get
a
scared to
pioneer.
ask that now. Okay.
And so he just started a brand like a year ago, and it's really cool as well. Like, he's such a tastemaker, and he was like tight with like the Virgil Ablohs.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check him out. I'm still traumatized from when I asked who David Lynch was on this
No
podcast.
worries.
I couldn't
No
like
worries.
show my
That
face
might
at
also be
AMC for a while.
might be a little bit of a niche reference.
Yeah,
But at the
okay.
same time, like, yeah, it's
I'll
like the
look him
male
up.
fashion scene. Like, they love him.
Okay. And then back to like your music video and the album that's coming out. What do you think is different about this era stylistically compared to what you've done in the past?
I think this era is really cool stylistically. It's very elevated, more like mature rock. It's a bit more glitz and glamour, and not. I wouldn't say it's not too much like I like that dirty punk. Like, I think it's more of an elevated fashion, intentional fashion throughout the eras, and there's like a bit of like this sort of classy high fashion in there.
Yeah.
A lot more sweaters, which I never thought would be incorporated, but there's a lot of really unique, cool sweaters that I've thrown into the mix, and lots of chrome hearts.
Lots of chrome hearts.
Lots of chrome
There
hearts
we go.
jewelry.
And with like when I was preparing and doing research last night or yesterday, you posted on Instagram and you were kind of talking about the meaning behind cheap, talk is cheap. As much as you can go into it, can you like kind of explain a little bit about that post and what you were referencing or what that
Yeah.
experience was, maybe as much as you can?
Okay, so I posted this and it was referring to the day I got a phone call when I was in Nashville
Hmm.
performing. They were telling me
Was
that
this before or after the performance? The call?
this was directly after.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Dang.
I had a call in the morning that was like something's weird's going on, and then after I got off stage, I was already like having a really rough time.
Mm.
And then I got the call, and then I went back inside and I watched my friends play for 5 minutes, and I felt like I didn't have a great show.
Yeah.
And I watched my friends go out there and kick ass. I was really proud of them, but
Yeah.
I look at myself and I'm like, man, are you struggling, or like what? Like you're just trying to find an answer,
Hmm.
and you just can't come up with one. But I got this phone call, and they were basically saying, we're pushing back the music from its release date, and it was towards the end of the tour. They're like, we can't put it out while we're on tour. Long story short, that same phone call happened for 4 months straight until we put a paper in front of them and said, give us a date. You said a date. Let's put it on paper. If you can't pay for my album by this time, we're walking.
Wow.
And when that day came, we got ghosted. And so we walked, and then for about like 8 months, we tried to find ways to pay for the project. And obviously we wanted to do it with a label.
Yeah.
So we used like the coolest, best producers, but with that comes an expense. So I had to pay for it out of pocket, and I had to find a way to pay for it myself and then release it independently. So this will be my first independent song and album, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm glad that I found a way to do it, but it was kind of going into this idea that like talk is cheap, but in the sense that it's like, how did it manifest itself? You know, like the talk that they were saying, oh yeah, we got this money. Actually, we don't, but we can't admit it. So it's like you're lying,
Yeah.
and your talk is
It's
literally
cheap.
cheap.
It's broke. It's not even cheap. It's like the
It's
talk is empty. They had none. Wow.
The talk is bankrupt.
Wow. The music industry is so hard. And like, I always, whenever I just had another artist on who is independent as well. And I was making the analogy of like, there's no other job in the world. Like, imagine you sign up to be a mailman and they're like, perfect. We're going to give you $100,000, but actually, we're not going to give you that money, but you're still going to be in debt $100,000, and you have to pay us back by delivering mail 365 days a year. Like, it's like there's no other job that I can think of that you like show up, maybe we'll get this money, are kind of indebted to them no matter what. And then like, it's just like a interesting, but like when it works, but it's hard. But I do believe in like, once you find the right label, it can be good, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it like we're a bit of zoo animals to these labels, and it's like they get to choose when they take certain toys away from us.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, but these toys are special to us.
Yeah.
These songs are literally everything. And if it's not considered a hit in the eyes of a label, good luck letting that see the light of day.
Yeah.
And so when I got out of this contract, the other labels, when they sign you, they want to say that they made the record with you always. So they were like, we could sign you if you're willing to change parts of your album. If you're willing to do this, you're willing to that, and bend to our will. And I'm like, no, I made this. This album's a story. It's intentional. It means everything to me. I don't want to continue to do this, because when I signed with the other label, they did the same thing. They were like, oh, now you're signed to us. I need you to make more music for the album. And I was like, yeah, I thought it was done. They're like, no, we need you to go back in. And I, compromised.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do as an artist. And it sucks to compromise all the time, but you have to play the game, is what they say. You have to play the game with the industry in order to win and succeed. And so I did.
Yeah. And you feel like the game, like you haven't won it yet, or how do you feel?
The funny thing is artists will never fully win the game. You could be the richest artist ever and still be going through hell every day. I mean, Halsey was talking about recently that her label wouldn't let her release a record, and thought that her last record wasn't as big as it should have been.
Mm.
And I think sometimes these labels forget that could mean so much to somebody. That record could mean
Mhm.
the world to them. It could be, not her biggest record, and it doesn't matter. You need to just continue making art because this is the thing that pours out of you and means everything to you. It's also your way of making a living.
Yeah.
And so being withheld to making your art, you're stuck in so many ways. And for a long time, I was really stuck. And I had a lot of people trying to force me into pop music
Mm.
when I was telling them, you signed a rock artist.
Yeah.
Why would I change for you? I can't bend to your will because that's not me. And everyone wants to tell you also to recreate your big things
Mm.
or go in the direction that they want you to go in. But you have to follow your heart as an artist because that's where your heart is in that present day and age. And I think that the industry forgets that because it's all a bit of money and games.
Mhm. And why do you still do it? Like, you just love the creation of the art. Like, you
I'll
love that so much.
I will die on the
You're
hill
like,
of being an artist.
aw, yeah.
I I mean, if people zoom out and look at all the things that I'm doing, people are like, "Wow, Chase, you have so much going on in your life."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all of that to be an artist, to
Mhm.
continue being an artist. I'm going to these fashion week shows. I'm doing movies and all this stuff so I can continue to make music because between records, sometimes it's such a long time.
Mm.
You need other things to keep people's um, attention in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not even enough. You have to juggle so many different careers to be an artist now. You can't just be an artist anymore. You have to be a content creator
Mhm.
and a fashion ambassador. You have to do these things.
Yeah.
And I think that more people are realizing they have to do that, because during Fashion Week, no one's paying attention to anything else. So you got to be a part of the Fashion Week. So you're part of that
Mhm.
conversation. And then, now it's the award season. Now you need to attend all these different award shows
Mhm.
and go to the after parties for the Oscars. Even though you might not be an actor, you still have to show face to
Mhm.
these places so you can keep the conversation going. And, that way you're still in the limelight and,
Yeah.
and you're still able to keep doing what you want to do and keep putting out art.
Yeah. I call that like running for mayor. Like, sometimes there's events where as a creator, it's like, oh, like I want to stay home today, but I have to like go and like metaphorically kiss babies' foreheads and be like, hi. Cause like maybe that brand is the one that's gonna like help you do XYZ. And so it's kind of like you're running for mayor. It's like a game, you know?
Yeah.
And that actually leads me to a question I wanted to ask, which I think is just so like fascinating. What you were saying, it reminded me of specifically Addison Rae had talked about how she took on the Netflix movie deals because she wanted to make music, and she was like, uh, like did the acting to fund an independent project at the time. And then
Good for her.
yes, good for her. And she put out that her independent, I think it was an EP, which then now that she did her album. But I say all that to say, you also obviously have Alex Warren, who they both were nominated last year at the Grammys. And now, like, you're leaning into doing your independent album. What is it specifically about that generation? There's this really, like, tight knit group of kids that came that you were a part of. Why are you guys so, like, into music and also doing it well? Like, what do you think that is?
Well, the thing about LA is you're always listening to music. You're always around
Mm-hmm.
music, and there's so many different genres happening all at the same time. And I think that that's such an exciting thing. But I also think that being in LA means no opportunity, no door is closed from you, and you
Yeah.
really can do anything if you put your mind to it and manifest it for yourself. And I think that one day Alex said, I'm going to pick up a guitar and I'm going to start to sing. I might not know how to do it yet,
Mhm.
but I could figure it out. I can go to Eric Vitro. He's 20 minutes away from me. I can start doing vocal lessons
Yeah.
with him. And then I can start recording with this guy. I know he makes music or he produces. So you just have to start getting out of your comfort zone and doing the things that you want to do. And for me, second I got a manager. They were like, okay, what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, I want to be a musician.
Oh.
First thing I said. And then a month later, I started Hype House with my friend. And even while we're doing that and creating such a big world, we did all of that. So there was going to be a point where that door closed and everyone else's doors started to open. And people were able to start doing other things. And we wanted that for everybody.
Oh.
We wanted that for Addison. We wanted that for Alex. We wanted that for Avani. She wanted to go into makeup. Everyone wanted to do something different. But to do that, we wanted to open the doors for people. And I think that this generation loves music so deeply. They feel it so deeply. And everyone has their own like little artist references that just like, those are their people. Those are their favorite bands, favorite pop stars. So it's cool seeing people step into their own worlds and make something really unique and special to them. And I'm very proud of everyone and what they've accomplished. Seeing people thrive and play all these festivals and huge shows, it brings a lot of joy to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet to hear. I mean, you guys really captured lightning in a bottle, because also at the time, there were a bunch of houses being launched because of the success of you guys. But none of those houses to this day have launched careers the way you guys have. Like, there's just like a core group of you guys. So it really feels like once in a lifetime to have seen that. Because, you know, I was watching you guys at the time when I was working on the back end. But there's a couple questions that I like to ask to everyone on this show. So this show is based in LA. We film it at the Spotify Theater. And I'm an LA native. I love asking everyone, like, where's your favorite place to go out in LA right now?
My favorite place to go out in LA is living room.
Really? Okay, someone else has said that. It's like the members only, right?
Yeah, it's like a members only club. But it's really cool. It's very disco-y. They have a wall of vinyls. They play really cool music, and it's not so they're gonna play like all these trendy songs, and a lot of the parties do that. They just play like the same playlist basically.
Yeah.
They're going in on 80s disco, and then outside they have this huge garden. They have bars indoors, outdoors, and people are like smoking, talking to each other. It's so cool, and I really love it there. But I mean, I don't have a membership. I only get to go every now and then. So I'm like, ooh,
when someone's like, want to come?
Want to go? I'm like, yes.
You're like, oh, thank God someone asked. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then another question is, do you remember the last movie you saw in theaters?
Last movie I saw in theaters was The Odyssey.
Okay, and what'd you think?
I thought The Odyssey was great. I watched it in the front row.
Oh my God.
On IMAX. I'm sitting there like this.
Oh my God. That'd be actually kind of cool though.
It was kind of sick.
Yeah.
I was not mad at all. I was having a great time. Just laughing away. Opening line. A war from Travis Scott. I'm like, I literally said in the theater, it's lit.
Yeah. Wait, I'd heard he was in the movie, but like him being the opening scene
was priceless.
Crazy.
I loved that shit so much.
Yeah, oh my God, that movie was so good. We always love asking, like, what's your sun, moon, and rising? But I want to try to at least guess your sun.
Go for it.
You kind of give, like, born in, like, fall or winter vibes.
Okay.
Maybe. Are you a Capricorn?
No.
No? Okay. Are you fall, winter, or no?
No.
You're not even close. Okay, not close. Like,
so that leaves you.
Are you a
summer.
Taurus?
I am a Taurus.
Wait, no way.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, because like Capricorn's earthy, and I'm like, what else is an earth sign? Taurus. Okay, so at least second try. But I did kind of have a big window that I didn't get. Okay, and then what's your moon and rising?
Both Cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, when I was talking to you, I thought he kind of seems like a Cancer, but that's
the mix
so
of energies.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Cancer water?
Water, yeah, water. But water and earth go together really well because water replenishes soil. So then when someone has a lot of fire and air signs, that goes well because oxygen fuels fire. But also being an earth sign, it's good to date water signs because, again, you'll connect with a water sign because of the soil and if you're into that kind of stuff. I don't know if you are. Are you into that stuff or no?
I don't like not too deeply to the point where I know it all.
Yeah.
But like if I'm seeing somebody, I'll do a little bit of research on their
Oh,
song.
yeah. They have like the apps where you can like run it, like run
Mhm.
like the like patterns and stuff.
Yeah,
What kind of sign do you normally date? Like, is there like a sign that you've noticed you gravitate to?
Earth.
Earth signs.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, cool. And then like, is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you like really think your fans should know, or something that like they can't find in any other interview coming up that's unique?
Man, I think that I want them to know, like, somebody to hate is like a jarring
Mhm.
title.
It is.
It's going to hook you in a way that's like, what do you mean? Why are you
Mhm.
somebody to hate? And it's not like a fuck the world, fuck everybody album. And I understand that that might seem like it is and cheap and with the somebody to hate. Um, this album is really personal and emotional, and just about every song that isn't a single is sad.
Mm.
It's so sad. And I want you to know that I'm a healed, happy person. This all comes from a place where I want to shine a light on the moments that I've had that have been fleeting. Sometimes I've been stuck in places for a while, um, and I'm really trying to use this music as like a path to
Mhm.
find that happiness. I use it as a manifesto of like, you're going to make it out of these moments.
Mhm.
You're going to make it out of the grief of losing your friends. You're going to
Mhm.
make it out of this sort of pain of trying to um, go sober. That's one of the things that's
Wow.
new for me.
Okay, is talking about going
Like
sober
I'm
or
like I spoke about it in a song. I was just like, I need to get sober,
yeah.
is what I say in one of the lines of this song. But there's like this sort of pain that I went through privately with like being well known, whatever, but just with the
Mhm.
industry where it was like the price that you pay for fame. Like that can be so hard for people, and I want you to know that I do such a great job at trying to navigate all of these tricky waters, but this is all what makes up that one person. And so this album was either going to be called The One.
Mhm.
We thought that might be a little too cocky,
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
or we were going
Like,
to
cause you were
title it.
saying, like, "I'm the one," so then they were
Yeah,
like, "Maybe that." Okay.
yeah,
I like somebody to hate. I think it's, like,
yeah.
anti-marketing.
It is
It's like,
totally.
"Wait, should I hate him?" Like, and then you're listening to it being like, "Wait, but it's kinda winning me over, but, like, should I
Hmm.
hate him?" I like it.
Right. Oh, Um,
Okay, so are you saying the one and
s-
then any other titles you were thinking of, or
no, it was
Mm.
just a battle between the two, and it was The One for a really long time.
Mhm.
But we changed it to Somebody to Hate last minute because we wanted to do something new and refreshing. And I think that The One had this idea where it's just like, well, look at me.
Mm.
But whereas Somebody to Hate's like, wait, why?
Yeah.
Why are you someone to hate? I don't understand. And so when people look at it on paper, they're like, what?
Mhm.
And then they have to listen to understand. And
Yeah.
so I want you to take your time and listen to this project and not just digest the singles, but try to digest the whole story. Because as much as there's a storyline with the music videos,
Mhm.
there's just as much of a storyline with the album as well.
Okay, like the lyrics and
All
even,
of
like,
it.
the placements of the songs and stuff?
Every single thing is placed in an orderly conduct to make sense.
Yeah. Okay. And is there, like, last question, is there anywhere that you feel like when the album comes out, like, what setting should someone listen to it in? Like the car, at a
Um,
pregame, in the shower?
Man, okay, so I would listen to the first half of the album
Okay.
at a pregame,
Okay.
and I would listen to the second half of the album after the party's
After
over.
the okay, when you're unwinding or the
Yeah,
next morning thinking about life.
when when you tried to flirt with somebody and you
Mhm.
get rejected, that's when you go home and you listen to the second half of the
You'll
album and you're
relate.
like just at home with your cigarettes.
Yeah, right. Like waiting to get a
Like,
text to go to the living room. Like,
yeah,
oh,
please.
please come through.
No, well, I would say the best way to listen to this is headphones, car, a speaker, or just throw it on the TV. Put it on
Okay,
YouTube and let it just play in order.
cool.
Just sit back and soak it all in.
I love that. I'm excited. It comes out in fall, in September,
Comes
right?
out, yep, in September.
Yes. Okay. I'm so excited. All right.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Let's keep going.
almost like 5 years to the date of my first album.
No way. It's been
Yep.
5 years.
It's been 5 years. I know.
Dude, okay, this sounds so, I don't mean to be so weird and like maternal, but it just feels like, again, I was on the back end. Like, you guys probably don't even remember meeting me because you would come into this building and it was like they had a hot pink wall that they would take photos of everyone on, and like we would just see. It just feels like
Yeah.
watching you grow up. Like, it's so crazy, like from obviously the outside, but 5 years since that's crazy.
Yeah, 5 years since the last project.
And yet you're still so young. You still, because you started young.
Yeah.
Like, you still have so much to do.
I've read this quote that was really cool, and it was like, 1 year is a day and 10 years is nothing. When you think of things in like the lifespan of a tree, you know, it needs to take time in order to generate and create that sap that pours out of it, and for it to grow and become a beautiful thing that takes time. So what could feel like a long time to everybody else, it almost feels like nothing. It feels like a day away from each other as an artist between each project, because you can't just expect the next season of fruit to grow overnight. It takes that time. So you have to be patient with yourself, but with the world as well.
Yeah. My friend, her dad is like a successful business guy, and he always says, you overestimate what you can accomplish in a year and you underestimate what you can accomplish in 5. So like, think in 5-year time frames, not 1 year when you're planning things out. And I'm like, wow,
Exactly.
they gave me so much permission to be like, okay, I can like really let things marinate. I don't have to be like overnight. So
Yeah. So there's always another opportunity. Each day is a new one. So take it in stride.
take it in stride.